Welcome to Devoted to a Soldier Resource Panel. And tonight it's veteran musicians. I am so excited because I'm going to see all these people next Friday.
Yay!
I can't wait. But I got Chris Turner, Heather Clark, my band, I was going to say my big man, and it came out band, Mr. Travis, who puts up with so much crap from me on a daily basis, you guys.
It's unbelievable. But I'm leading with love.
Good answer.
Especially because why am I going to see you guys? Why am I going to see them, Travis?
Why are we going to see them, Danny? Oh, that's right. We're talking about Hearts for Warriors. On Valentine's Day weekend at the Boondocks in Columbia, Tennessee. It's going to be savage. It's going to be absolutely savage. If you're wondering what to do for Valentine's Day and you're in the Middle Tennessee area, you have found it. Just come down to the Boondocks in Columbia, Tennessee next Friday night.
We start at 6 o'clock. It's going to go till whenever. Chris is bringing it home that night. And super exciting because there's a couple things that I want to start off with. I want to start off with like collaborating. We have two musicians here, two podcasters here, and all working together, not one against each other, but for each other. So Chris and Heather, how did you guys come about thinking that you're going to do this song together, that you're going to premiere next Friday, the 12th?
You want to take it, Heather, or you want me to?
Sure. So I went to the Irreverent Warrior hike in Nashville in September, and I attended my first veteran music fundraiser that Michelle Baxter put on. And while there, I just got chatting with her and said something about I used to sing. And she's like, well, why don't you come out for our next one? And I kind of thought I had this song in my head about a military couple. So I wanted to do a duet, and ended up Michelle paired Chris and I up because she thought we would work well together. And it turned out that we did. I think we are a beautiful team. And I have so much fun with him, and our collaboration just seems to flow every time we're there. And there's a lot of emotion and feelings that we put into this song, and we're so excited about it. I'm excited. I cry every time we practice. So.
Are you crying because Chris is such a sweet-hearted, loving man, or are you crying because the energy of the magic of your like artistic gifts?
A little bit of both. He is an absolute sweetheart. I love working with him. We just seem to get along really well right off the bat. A lot of it, I think, is the story behind the song is actually a true love story from two friends of mine that I was in the Navy with. And so as we were making it, we kind of started out just talking about a military couple, and then somehow we got talking about my friends. And Chris is like, that's a great love story. We should write about that. I was like, you're right, we should. And we did. And it turned out beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I mean, the first time that we sat down to write, just like she said, going back and forth, with me, whenever I'm sitting in a writing room, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. I'm thinking and I'm pulling and I'm thinking and I'm pulling. And, I always like to start a session with probably 15 to 20 minutes of introductory, right? And then try to get into, why we're sitting there. And whenever she started the whole idea with her friends that are a couple and the story behind it, I was just like, yeah, that's where we need to take it from here. And it kind of wrote itself, man. I mean, I know we spent some time on it, but once we got together and could get our calendars coordinated to where we could sit down and write, I mean, it just came out. And then, we would sit on it for about a week or so, and then I'd come up with some other lines and I'd shoot them back at her. And then by the time we got back in the room, it just flowed because we knew which direction we were going to take the song. So I'm really excited about debuting it next Friday night at the Boondocks. It's going to be really cool. It's a cool love story. So.
And perfect in time for Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I'm going to force Travis to dance with me during that song unless I auction him off. But if I don't auction him off, if I save him for myself, he'll be dancing with me that night. But Travis, because you have opened up your heart so much to love recently, how do you feel about what?
Do tell.
Please do tell, Travis.
Well, I don't know about all of that, but what I will say is
Did I
Yeah.
just get like turned down publicly?
No. What I'm saying is I'm evolving. Look, folks, Danny has got a sledgehammer and a chisel, and she's persistent. She never stops. So I'm a statue she's molding into this wonderful sculpture. That being said, it is all about the love. I mean, Danny and I met about 2 years ago, and we started talking with each other. And then last year at the Irreverent Warriors event, we got to do some emceeing and profiling the artist. And a real synergy took place because we were there to support the hike and the veterans that were coming out to do the hike and the people supporting the event. And it really was this wavelength that we were both on. And what's happened because of that is there's some things that I don't do as well that Danny really, kind of makes me better than what I am. And there's some things that Danny just has me do because, well, that's the way it is. It just has to happen that way. But it all works for that real authentic connection, that real authentic togetherness that we as veterans and people who support us have.
Yeah. And that is where that collaboration comes. So when you are talking, like you guys are writing this song back and forth, is this a happy song? Was it always meant to be a happy song? Did it evolve into a happy song? Because a lot of times, maybe more often than not, happiness is not equated with relationships in the military. So what happened with this song? How has it evolved? And
I think it started with a very generic theme, and as we switched it over to the love story was happy, and then it became very sad, to a point that it could have ended not well in the song. And so there's a lot of emotions that go back and forth, and you kind of really don't know until the end of the song how it's going to turn out. And I think that real life experience and feeling how love, can be the best thing, can also be the worst thing because it hurts so bad sometimes when you get your heart broken. I think we touch on all of that. And sometimes we would just get lost in songwriting and look at the clock and be like, oh my gosh, like 3 hours just went by. It's just like, don't even realize it's how much we got into it.
Yeah, and for me, you talk about happy songs, upbeat songs, or slow songs, or whatever. For me, whenever I'm writing, the song kind of writes itself. You come up with a melody, but while you're in the middle of that song and you're writing the lyrics down, you can change it at any given time, just depending on which direction you want to go with it. But this particular song was, the love story, to where it's not slow like a ballad, but it's a story song, and it tells itself to where you get your point across, and just lyrically, and just the groove of the song will pull you in. And that's the great thing about writing, man. I've written so many songs, man, to where I've still got a folder that's thick of stuff that's not there, but I've always been told a folder of songs that I still pull from time to time whenever I'm writing, right? I'll just pull out old stuff that I've written and see if there's something there I can use. But I was told early on whenever I started writing, crap makes the best fertilizer. So if you go back and dig into the crap, man, it's going to be the best fertilizer you could possibly find. There's a couple lines in the song that we wrote together that I pulled that I had used somewhere else before, but I found a way to say it differently than I had said it somewhere else. So that's the great thing about songwriting, man. I love it whenever I get a chance to sit down and do it. But I'm 100 miles an hour all the time, so it's just finding time to just actually be able to sit down and write. And I was glad that I was able to write with Heather. It was really great. It was great collaborating with her, and she's a great talent in her own right.
Well, thank you. But there were moments that we even came up with the same lines.
Yeah.
Like he's just playing, and then we both started singing, and then we ended up singing the same exact lines and looked at each other and just like you and Travis had that synergy. I don't think this is going to be my last song that I write with Chris. I really don't feel like that. I feel like there's more coming.
Oh yeah. I agree. And songwriting's like a marriage or a relationship. You're the relationship expert, Danny. So it's you have to feel it, and you have to be on the same wavelength. I've written with some people, man, to where you try to write with them and throw your ideas out, and narcissism sets in, and I'm like, okay, man, that's the way you want to write it. You can write that way, and we finish up the song, and he might call me, or he or she might call me, and we might go back to it later on at a later date. But it's just it's like a marriage or a relationship, man. You got to have two people that's equally involved to where, you know, you're 50-50 or 100% on each side of the page. So
Yeah.
it was really cool. And Heather and I have that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we do.
It's like a dance, right? It's like it's that like flowing dance. It's not the tango where someone's leading and someone's following. It's a vibrational dance. And I just got to give a shout out because Angela's shouting out to Heather Clark.
Angelo!
And
I love you, baby bro.
I'm really excited to hear this song, to be able to like be there for the premiere of it next Friday. So everyone come down live or catch it live on wherever you are. I'm sure it's going to be one of those that we feel, Travis. Don't you feel like it's going to be one of those where we look at each other and we're like, where did that come from?
Exactly. Because, you know, we've gotten the chance to watch both Chris and Heather, you know, grow since we've known them, and attack certain aspects of their craft and art and other people. So to see this come together is the highlight of the evening for certain.
And then I wanted to kind of know from each of you, but about what made you like say yes to Michelle Baxter about Hearts of Warrior. I think Michelle and I have this same kind of like, this is just what we're doing, and I hope you're in because we say you know, like it's good. Just we're gonna do it. It's good. But what made you be like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna do this and make awareness for music veterans, to give my heart on Valentine's Day, to share and be part of something bigger than just yourself? I want to know from everybody. Ladies first.
I think thank you, sir. I think for me, I never thought I would ever get back into music. It's something I did when I was younger, before I had a family. And just that one short conversation with Michelle, she just like made me think like, well, maybe I should get back into music. And look, this amazing cause, this fundraiser that we just put on, I want to be more more involved with that. And I had contacted a couple other military musicians in the community and started collaborating with them on some things too. And it just kind of started to wake back up in me. And I wanted to come back to Nashville because that was such a special trip, I think, for all of us. It's one that I won't forget. And I wanted to come back to Nashville, especially in February, you know, and have this song premiere during Valentine's Day weekend was really important to me. And Michelle is such a beautiful person inside and out, and so patriotic. How can you say no to her? You know?
Yeah, I got to give a little background. So, because you've heard about the IW hike, we've all kind of talked about it. That's where we first really got together in person. It was in September, the National IW hike. Michelle Baxter put on this music concert to benefit their Reverend Warriors hike. And there's some, you know what it is about Michelle that I was saying, like, there's just something about it when you have to say is that she can see gifts inside you that you might not that you might question or might not be developed, or she just gives you that confidence. She has that gift in her world to be able to do that. And you can feel it. And she speaks with such confidence that you're just like, okay, yes. Because she believes 100%. I just have to throw that out there, that it became clear in my mind about her. And but when
I agree.
Our event, there were bed picnics, there were you were there for that.
Cheers lessons.
Cheers lessons in September. These are things that happen, the shenanigans that happen when we all get together. Swimming, Travis was smoking cigars.
We were doing yoga. Yes.
Chris was jamming out, but I regret.
Well, I want to hear about Chris. I want to hear what Chris, you know, why Chris does this for Michelle. Come on, you go.
Here's what happened. You know, with COVID and everything hitting, and musicians were really tremendously affected throughout the year. You know, with being kind of cooped up and not being able to do anything. So during that time frame, I wrote songs and I recorded some new music. I'm really excited about my new single called "All in the Same Boat." You know, we released it and we're getting ready to do some really big PR work with it. So, But what happened was a buddy of mine owns a brewery downtown. And when you are in town, I need to take you to it. It's downtown Nashville. It's called the Bold Patriot Brew House. I mean, every beer on tap is named after somebody who was they were essential in the freedom of our country. Mm. So like he's got like the Molly Hatchet or the Samuel Adams or, and it's all home-brewed beer. And whenever I met these guys, that we talked about music, so they put a stage in. So I was down there playing a show in August, and I ran into my buddy Andrew Farrer from the VFW and the IW hikes and things of that nature. Solid guy, solid Marine, love that guy to death, man. Take a bullet for him. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there at a show, and he's pushing his Hero Custom Cups, and he brought them to the benefit, and we put some on the counter, and we did like buy a souvenir cup and get a free beer with it from Bold Patriot, right? And we included them into the fundraiser that we were doing for the Extreme Couture GI Foundation at the time. So we got up there, we got to play in, and got to talking to Andrew, and he's like, hey, man, you know what? We got this IW hike in September. I'd love for you to play it on September 11th. I was like, man, I'd love to do it that weekend, but I can't. I'm already booked. And what I was doing was the 9/11 State of Mind thing that we were doing where we did dropped the flag from the Nashville Bridge, and it was really cool. But he said, well, call Michelle. She might have some other stuff. There's a girl named Michelle Baxter. She might have some other stuff to get you involved in. So I called Michelle, introduced myself, and started talking to her, and we kind of hit it off. She's like, well, come play my show. I think it was in August. I think it was right before the IW hike. It was the end of August or something like that. The first time I met you guys down there was the IW show. I don't know if that was August or September or whatever. But, I got a chance to meet with her and speak with her and talk to her, and we've just become really great friends. And, I love her to death. She's got, like you guys said, she's got a big heart, and she's just like one of those individuals to where you just want to hug her. You know what I mean? She's a great lady. And she believes in what I'm doing and my music, and I believe in what she's doing and her mission to try to help the veterans and get it out there. So for me, my platform since I moved to town has always been, veteran related, so to have her in the mix as a promoter and an event organizer to do stuff like that, it's just really a blessing to have her be involved with me and have so much faith in me to be able to do something like that. So yeah, that's how I came to know Michelle Baxter and all of her God-given gifts.
Mm-hmm. Travis, you're next.
I am. Well, I've been doing Oscar Mike Radio for about 4.5 years now. We turned 5 in July. And when I started, all I wanted to do was work on the number one. And what's that mean? I want to know when, I'm done with this or through with this, that I made a positive impact in one person's life. That's all I wanted to do. And it just humbles me and blows me away that I'm, Michelle, like you said, sees something in me. I don't know what, but she saw something in me, and, she's very good at this, ladies and gentlemen, wrote me into doing these things. All of a sudden I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And she's like, yeah, you're coming back. Right. And so to really see, Heather and Chris come on stage to perform this and know that, my involvement in some small way may benefit not only them, but veterans who are working so hard in creative, performing or whatever artist pursuit they have. It doesn't get any better than that. And I feel that in some way I'm accomplishing my mission.
Yeah, totally.
And what you said, like one, Travis, I mean, with me and my music, we all cry about Stop 22, the suicide rate. But for me, if I can stop one, I'm happy. Just to make an impact on one person's life. I'm with you on that, brother. Hey, we got the same synergy.
Locked on. And speaking of one, if I could have the floor, I meet this woman, Danielle Rocco, and oh my God, she's annoying, folks. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God. But meeting her and allowing her to draw out, again, I don't know what she's seen, but she's seen something in there, and she gets the buffer and the sander and works on me in a way that's really authentic. Danielle, I wouldn't be here today without you.
No. Oh, well, thank you. And I love you guys. And if it's my turn, if I could share a little bit, is that I have so much love for people, right? Just people in general, even the people that hurt me or are hurting me, or I just want to love them, right? Because when I hurt, I might bite someone's head off or be rude. I want them to have grace on me and give that forgiveness. So I have all of this love pent up inside me that I feel like my gift. I am not creative like you guys. I don't have that artistic ability, but I think God gave me this immense amount of love that I can see the love inside people. And I just want to share it. Like I want to share Chris with Heather. I want to share Travis with the world, and just keep telling everybody that comes into my little bubble here that it doesn't matter how much crap you're in right now or what you think you are. You're not that. It's just your building block into what the next minute's going to bring you. You know? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And so by coming and making these connections and all these collaborations and doing what we're going to do on Friday, I feel like I might explode with how much, because there's going to be so many people that I care about. So I might cry. I'm just saying, because I can feel it inside me now.
It's okay. It's okay to cry. I mean, they're tears of joy.
It's so funny you say that, man. I just cut a new song off I wrote a song called "It's Okay to Cry."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be on my new EP that comes out, and I'm excited about that too. So I wrote it about 6 or 7 years ago. I just cut it, but yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. That might end up being like my theme song.
Oh yeah.
It's okay to cry.
It's okay to cry.
Oh yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Oh my gosh. So guys, we have to wrap it up. It's our 20 minutes. It's all coming to an end, but I have this new last closing question. It's not the love question. So don't worry, Travis. It's not the right show for that. But I want to know, with the first thing that comes to your heart, first thing out of your mind, don't explain it. You don't need to explain. It's just where you are in this moment in time. But what has devoted mean to you?
Heather?
So I actually posted something about this that Travis commented on. It's ride or die. Who's my ride or die? And Travis said, we ride at dawn. That's what devotion is to me, to know that I have a tribe. Doesn't matter what time of day. It doesn't matter what's going on. I can reach out to all of them because we're all devoted to each other and making each other's life better.
Yeah, ride or die. Chris?
Yeah, to piggyback off of what she said, my thing with devoted is like you're all in. If you're going to show up, you need to show out. Just be there. And for me, unfortunately, we all know who our circle of people are, and we know who those people are. And it's just kind of my backstory. It's been kind of crazy. So I have a small handful of people that I keep really close, and it's just being 100% devoted to, like Heather said, you're ride or die, man. You just, anytime you get ready to call them, you can call them, whether it's your wife, your husband, your kids, so it's, devotion's huge, cause you can kind of weed out the weeds within the first 2 or 3 months. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what devotion is to me, man. Show up and show out.
Show up and show out.
That's it.
Well, I think for me, when I hear devotion, I think of the word sustained commitment. No matter what you do in life, in pleasure, for a hobby, for work, career, whatever measure of success you're going to have, that's the result of sustained commitment. Continually working to get better at it, continually working to be there for somebody, continually working to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like next Friday night when I'm doing line dancing, because Tarish and Danielle, we're devoted to my, yeah, right. So it's those kinds of things that separate people who are just in your life for a moment or two, or things are a passing fancy, versus something that's real and authentic. So devotion to me is simply sustained commitment.
You said line dancing. Yeah, doggy.
Can't wait.
They're having way too much fun, Chris, with this. Way too much fun.
Oh yeah.
There'll be pictures too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there'll be pictures and video. Don't you worry about it. Guys, thank you so much for coming on, just like spewing your heart about why you're doing what you're doing, sharing the inside scoop of this, upcoming song that you guys are going to be premiering on Friday, the 12th. Travis, thank you as always being the best co-host, co-star. I don't feel it's like a co-host. Is there something like, can we just be like,
We're a unit.
a unit? That's it. Thank you for being my ride or die.
And we ride at dawn.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
We're
do.
savage doing it.
So I got one more thing. Since Travis owes you a dance, Chris owes me a dance too that night.
There you go. Hey, Danny, and you need to change your Rocco. Your new stage name needs to be Danny Rocks, ROXX.
Danny rocks. I love it.
Oh, man. You guys are awesome. I love you so much, everybody. If you're in the Columbia, Tennessee area, come out to the Boondocks on February 12th. We start at 6 o'clock. It's going to go all night long. If you're not, you're around the world, then just tune in right here. You can catch everybody live. Oh, yeah. Also, you don't know this, but you can take pictures and meet these artists in person with a really cool step and repeat. So, and maybe, I don't know how I'll torture Chris and Heather in some love way, but I'll find a way to do it.
Don't say it.
Way. I'm hardcore with this. All right, guys, everybody out there, find a table, find a tribe, find your ride or die. Just be blessed and have a great night. We will see you all later. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Hold on.